some life-changing events in my life. The most important included marrying my true love in 1985, becoming a mother in 87, and again in 1990, then beginning my life with aphasia in 2005. But I was not alone, nor was I the only one experienced a life-changing event. My darling husband and precious children also had their lives changed on that day, 2005. Peter, who had worn a husband hat since 1985 and a father one since 1987, then a father of two hats since 1990, placed a carer's sombrero firmly on his head 2005. This was placed on top of his all the hats, and to say this required some sacrifice in an understatement. Today I would like to acknowledge my husband and my carer and all the carers of people living with aphasia. Everyone living with aphasia learns they face new physical, mental and emotional challenges they need to address. But let's now pause for a moment and appreciate we're not alone. Our carers also make many adjustments. Our loved ones have an instant expectation to step up to the plate. No training or preparation at time. Physically, we have to satisfy our daily needs and wants, no matter how big or small. Peter puts my earrings and my necklace on for me every day when I go out. They also have to take most, if all not, or daily chores. Peter has been the chef, cook and bottle washer for almost 10 years. Our carers need to learn to cope with swinging emotions, both high and low, of all family members. To calm the person living with aphasia, Peter had to learn to cope my frustrations on the chin, understanding they're not aimed at him personally, but at times the hurt is still the same. To reassure the children, as most with this situation, Peter had to assist our children with the loss of the old mum and the emergence of a new mum, and at the same time give themselves a chance to deal with their own emotions and grief. Our carers also face mental challenges. It's a daily occurrence, even after nearly 10 years, that Peter has to help me and repeat back to me what has been said when he attends medical appointments or group gatherings. The aphasic mind works brilliantly, but it's slower than rate than those without aphasia. And our carers learn to be our filters, slowing things down for us and changing the gabble heard into understandable information. Another adjustment for our carers is the lack of mental challenge. They lose the opportunity of equal, in-depth conversation with their partner. Even arguments become a thing of the past. Boredom must be surely another straw in the sombrero. While we enjoy playing games through life, our carers become experts in playing charades in real life, and all the time. They become experts as they have to interpret what we're trying to understand and help us find the right words when we struggle to find the words need to express concerns and wants. A secretary is another role for our carers as they become responsible for organising, planning and attending appointments for us. Peter found using a diary is an essential component for a carer. So I have addressed physical, I have addressed emotional, I have addressed mental, secretarial, and forget the financial stress also. They mean instantly having to understand how to pay bills or work the family finances when the person now with aphasia has always been the sole foncier, right? I got it wrong. Could only mean having to give careers that take extended time off work. In our situation, Pete was in his early 40s when he had to give up paid work and take on the full care role for me. It has only been the last 4 years that I have been able to live for a short period in my own, which means Peter has been able to return to casual work. This also means him starting work at silly times, such as 1 AM, so he could be home for me during waking hours, a massive sacrifice. Despite all these adjustments and hardships our carers endure, they're still able to find humour in our lives. Peter has recently decided to write a Fiona dictionary for my special Fiona words such as kakala, known to others kookaburras. No wonder the carer's hat is the size of a sombrero. It has to be able to hold the physical, mental and emotional finance needs required. It needs to be able to provide shelter for two, not just one. It needs to be able to dip a little low at the times to hide the tears and fears of those wonderful people we know as our carers. They too are embarking on a journey similar to those with loving aphasia. As you're all aware, having aphasia means difficulty finding the right words. However, there is not ever enough of the right words to express how eternally grateful we are for our carers. I want to personally thank my wonderful husband Peter, and on behalf of everyone else who had a carer or had a carer, thank you carers for moving our mountains, for picking up when we're down, for believing in us and loving us, and for letting us find comfort knowing we have someone beside us step every the way. Thank you.